For those of you who are just hearing about Sam for the first time, and haven't really had a chance to really meet him, I've only met him a couple of times, and both are virtual. His energy is infectious. He gets you excited, and you want to hear more. And so, Sam, one of the things in our world that we see, and I'd like for you to talk about this, because anybody who's had success with any kind of digital marketing, or probably marketing in general, but digital marketing especially, is the nature of sort of trial and error, and how much money, I can always say to our personal journey, how much money we spent figuring out, what worked and what didn't work. And we see law firms do it all the time, and they'll just throw money at different things and different ideas or different pitches that marketing people have, but they don't really understand, or don't really even know how to buy this kind of stuff. So why don't you share with, if you would, a few of your experiences relative to the trial and error nature of marketing, and how can you help reduce the learning curve for law firms?
Yeah, I'm going to share three key principles. One is the who matters more than the how. Okay, the who matters more than the how. A lot of people get stuck on the how. Instead, the better question is, who can help me on this? So, there's, at this point, we're in an information, generation where there's so much information out there, especially on YouTube, and obviously a lot of books and things, articles and things out there. So, go and find your top people and either see what the program is and get close with them, become friends with them, and sign up for their programs that could really hold your hand and help you with that. Second is, don't overthink it. Most lawyers get stuck in the decision stage. Like a practical example is, should I hire a lawyer first, or should I hire a legal clerk first? I keep hearing this question. I'm like, you need both. The answer is both. You need both. It doesn't matter which order. Just go hire the legal clerk first, because that one's easier. So don't overthink it. A lot of people, if you find yourself that you're sitting on something and you're still contemplating it, you're beyond, don't wait. And third is, that urgency. How fast are you willing to move forward with your decisions? Again, nothing should sit on your plate more than 2 days. And it helps to have a mentor, somebody you can talk it out with, so that person could just tell you the answer, and just so you don't overthink it. I have a mentor myself, somebody that, as the day goes, when life happens, when business decisions come up, if I can make a decision, I'll make a decision. If not, I store it in my notes, so that when I do get opportunity to talk to my mentor, right, I could just go down the list. Hey, what do you think about this? And he's just like, do that. And what about this one? Go for it. Do it about this one. Okay, don't do that one. And I'm able to quickly, don't overthink things. And that's, again, that really helps, having that third party person who cares about you and kind of can guide you and get you to not overthink things. Okay, so just to recap, the who matters more than the what. Don't overthink it. And the third is, the urgency. Have some urgency in your decisions, and don't just sit on it.
So that's interesting, because the who rather than the what, that's tricky, right? Because a lot of times, lawyers will work with someone, and one of the things that we try to very hard. I mean, I agree with you on this. I agree with you that doing something is almost always better than doing nothing, right? So sometimes, for example, we might work with someone, or have worked with someone, or had a client work with someone, didn't wind up staying with that person, but that person led them to another person who was finally what they needed. So choosing the who is very difficult in in evaluating who really can help you, especially if you're an inexperienced marketer and you're not sure, honestly, the kind of help that you might need, and in a lot of law firm marketing, it's, oh, well, you need search engine ranking, or, oh, you got to get your Facebook likes, and it's all this tactical stuff. And we can help you rank number one in Google for, this, and so you tend to choose your who based on sort of that promise, we'll get you number one on Google or something like that. how do you go about, or what can you share with us, the audience, about how to find the person who's right for you?
Usually it will come from word of mouth and hearing about what's working for you or not. But one rule I'm going to give, and that might offend a couple of people that might hear from this, is don't work with agencies. If you can do that, if you if you don't need to. Instead, my team is built is I'm backed by individual freelancers, people that I'm connected to on a one-to-one. I work with people, I have freelancers. I don't usually typically don't work with agencies. Usually the way that I look at agencies is you have the sales team whose sole job is to sign you up, and then they hand you off to the person who will onboard you, that will promise you some things that will get you started. And maybe it will work out the first couple of months, but by month 6, you're client number 684. And then you get lost in the whims and it's not really sustainable. So instead, go find either a small team of people who really care, who are in it for long term, or go find a very good freelancer. What I do inside of my program is I teach people how to fish. So I show people exactly how to go hire these freelancers. Once you kind of have that kind of those know the how to go figure out the who, then everything becomes easier. So at that point, anything that you're stuck on, then again, you go follow my kind of step to be able to hire freelance